Guys, welcome back to Activate at Home's yoga class. This week we will be stretching our way to the ground, starting with the sun salutation that we practiced last week, and then just taking multiple different body stretches until we find our way into corpse pose. One of our wonderful Activate at Home members suggested that we start doing a little bit more body stretching because we're all sitting down and getting very stiff. So hopefully this will awaken some of your muscles, get you a little less stiff, and get you ready for another day of hard work. All right, let's get started. And you might want a folded blanket or towel or a pillow, so make sure that those are nearby in case you need them. And we'll start at the front of our mat, hips width apart, rising up. On an inhale, root to rise, we make ourselves tall and long, perhaps coming up on your tippy toes if you would like, or just staying flat and reaching long towards the sky, long towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, we'll take a slight back bend, taking some wrist circles if we would like here, perhaps taking some movement with the head. If we are moving the head, we want to make sure it's nice and controlled, not just flopping it around, to take care of our necks. And then we can inhale our way back to center and exhale it all the way down to our mat, meeting in forward fold with a heavy head and heavy hands. And in our forward fold, you might want to take a little bit of a side-to-side motion with your hands, or maybe a few figure eights. Or perhaps we hold opposite elbows and opposite hands. Or if this isn't enough of a stretch, you might want to put your hands under your feet, lift your tailbone up, really stretching those hamstrings. So the options are really endless in forward fold. Do what feels most comfortable to you. Try them all out and see what you like. And then on the inhale, we rise up, flat back, hands on either the tops of our shins or the tops of our upper thighs, really looping those shoulders back, sending our tailbone towards the end of our mat and the crown of our head and our spine towards the front, challenging ourselves to be as flat as we possibly can. And on your next exhale, bring it all the way back down into that forward fold. And I challenge you to possibly take a movement or a stillness that you didn't take in your forward fold last time, continuing to experiment with what you like and what feels good to your body. And then on the next exhale, plant your palms and bring your left foot back and then your right into your plank pose. And take a moment here to make sure that your wrists are below your shoulders and the balls of your feet are below your heels. And if plank pose is too much for you today, you might want to take a half plank, dropping those knees down, and maybe even putting a folded towel or blanket under your knees for extra support. And then on your next exhale, bring yourself forward up onto your big toes and drop down towards the mat. Flipping your toes so that the tops of your feet are on the top of your mat, making sure that your palms are right at your chest. On the inhale, we lift up into cobra or full up dog. Wherever you are today, even if you're down in baby cobra, it's perfectly fine. Taking a little bit of a side movement in our cobra,
seeing what feels good before exhaling down to the mat, flipping your toes under, firing up those legs, putting energy into our legs, and then pushing up into plank pose before exhaling and sending back into downward dog. And in downward dog, you might want to walk your dog out a bit, really feeling as you put the pressure on your toes, the balls of your feet, and then your heels, stretching those hamstrings, as I'm sure they're tight. Or you might just want to take stillness in your dog. And then on your next exhale, we bring our knees to the mat, bringing them together and flipping our toes so that the tops of our feet are on the tops of our mat. We come into a child's pose here, sending our tailbone back towards the back of our mat and pushing away from the mat with our hands to keep active in our child's pose. And then on your next exhale, send your hands around behind you. And you can stay like this with your hands off behind you in child's pose. Or if you'd like a little bit more of a stretch, you can interlace your hands behind you, bringing your palms together if possible, and lifting up towards the sky. And you might be all the way up towards the sky. You might be a little bit further down, and your palms might not even reach. Any version of this posture is perfectly okay, as long as you are lifting up with your shoulders. And then on an exhale, we drop it all the way down, laying our hands behind us and relaxing into our child's pose. And then on your next inhale, slowly start to sit up, bringing your hands slowly forward as you rise up, one vertebrae at a time. And challenge yourself to really let this take as long as you possibly can. Checking in with the face, making sure that the face muscles are relaxed as we slowly travel up into a seat. Bringing our spine straight and into place, bringing our shoulder blades back, and finally lifting our head up to align our spine. And breathe here for a moment. On your next exhale, place your left hand on your right knee. Bring your right hand back behind you. And look over your right shoulder. Placing your hand closer to your body to make the twist more difficult. Placing it away to make it a little bit easier. And on our inhales, we bring ourselves straight, pretending that there is a string that runs along our spine, up through our head, and out the top of the ceiling, pulling us straight up like a puppet. And on the exhale, we relax into our twist, twisting deeper. Using our left hand to push away from our right knee and sending us deeper into the twist. And then on an exhale, we come back to center. Breathing in and then out before placing our right hand on our left knee, sending our left hand back behind us, looking over our left shoulder, and inhaling straight, exhaling into our twist. Inhaling, we lift up, and exhaling, we twist. And then exhaling, we come back to center. Once again, breathing in and breathing out. We plant our palms next to or behind us and lift our legs out long in front of us. So here you can bend them as much as you would like, or send them completely out long, whatever feels most comfortable to you. And on an exhale, we send ourselves forward to touch our toes. The goal is to not completely round our backs in order to touch our toes, but to bring ourselves forward from the hips, keeping our shoulders straight. We tilt forward. And if that means that you don't come to your toes, that's okay. But you get a better stretch if you bend from the hips than if you just force yourself forward and round your back. We want to keep a straight back into our stretch, sending ourselves as forward as we can with that straight back. Like that. And we breathe here. And if you would like, you can lift up and send your hips a little further back, if that helps with your stretch. And you can even get a towel or blanket and sit it under your hips to bring yourself a little bit more up so that you can send yourself forward. And on your next exhale, we send our palms behind us, our fingers going out towards the back of our mat. And if you would like, you can stay here in a seat, maybe gently guiding your neck back, your chin towards the sky. If you would like a little bit more of a challenge, you can lift your hips up and send your chin towards the sky. And then we exhale Bringing it back down towards the mat. Bringing our right foot in towards our body. It can be as far in as it will come. And we send ourselves forward again, remembering that it's not about how far we can reach with our arms, but about how forward we come with our hips. Challenging ourselves to keep our back as flat as we can as we fold. And then we inhale our way back up to center, sending our right foot out long, bringing our hands behind us. And you can stay here in your seat. Maybe send your chin up towards the sky for a little bit of a bend. Or if you would like to take the full thing, you can also send your hips up towards the sky. And then we exhale it back down, bringing our left leg in and sending ourselves forward. Again, not reaching with our arms and our shoulders, but bowing into it at the hips. It's not about whether or not you can reach, but about how the bend feels at the hips and along the back of your thigh. And on your next inhale, you can lift it back up, sending your left leg out long, sending your palms back behind you, sitting up, adding maybe a little bit of an arch in your back by sending your chin up towards the sky or completely lifting up before exhaling back down. Now we will shift our hips forward a little bit so that we're in the center of our mat and bring ourselves down into a corpse pose before lifting our right leg, bringing our right knee to our chest, and then our left leg, bringing our left knee to our chest. We hug in, thanking our bodies for all the hard work that they do. And then bringing our heads back to the mat, we send our legs to the right, stacking them on top of one another and taking a 90-degree angle with our legs, bringing our arms out long and looking over your left shoulder. Your right arm either going out long or perhaps placing it on top of your left knee, just guiding your legs over into your supine twist. And then coming back to center, Bringing your knees back up to your chest. Bringing your head up to greet them, hugging it all in. And then letting your head fall back onto your mat, sending your legs out to the left. Again, making sure that your legs are in a 90-degree angle out to the left, sending your right arm out long and your left hand to either guide your legs over, or it too can be out long. Gently rolling back to center, bringing our knees back to our chest, bringing our head in to greet them, and then laying our head back onto the mat. And you can join me for happy baby, grabbing the outside of your feet and then sending them up into the air, taking a rocking position here. Really stretching your legs apart from one another as much as you would like to make this feel good for you. And rolling along your spine. Feel free to roll around in happy baby as long as you would like. But if you are feeling good and stretched out, you can send your legs back out long towards the end of your mat. Flip your palms up to face the ceiling. And meet me in corpse pose for Shavasana. At this time, I welcome you to get a pillow for your head, get a blanket or a towel to drape over your body to keep yourself warm, or place a blanket or towel under your hips or your shoulders for support, rolling one up and placing it under your spine to help straighten your spine. Take whatever version of corpse pose is most comfortable for you and helps you relax. And then I welcome you to breathe, paying attention to your breath as it comes in through your nose and then out through your mouth. Enjoying the sensation of the air as it travels into your body, filling up your lungs and your chest, and then travels back out again, leaving your lungs and your chest empty. Remembering that your attention is your gift to give to whoever and whatever you choose. And at this moment on your mat, you choose to give that gift of attention to no one and nothing except for your breath as it moves in through your nose and out through your mouth. You might acknowledge thoughts as they float into your mind, but just as soon as you acknowledge them, usher them out. Encourage them to come again another time when you are not on your mat. And you may be able to give your attention to them at that time, but for now, your attention is only with your breath, moving in through your nose and out through your mouth. If your day allows it, I welcome you to stay in Shavasana as long as you can, paying attention to your breath and being with your body. But if you have a busy day ahead of you and you have to, at this moment, start wiggling your fingers and wiggling your toes, curling them in and then flexing them out. Maybe bringing small circles into your wrists and your ankles. And stretching your arms and your legs out long and then bringing them back towards your body. Welcoming whatever small movement helps you come back to yourself, come back to your body at this time. And slowly lifting up. I'll meet you in a seat on your mat, whatever seat feels comfortable for you today, with your hands in prayer pose, breathing deeply in and long out. Lifting your thumbs up to your forehead to massage your third eye, bowing down towards the ground. Hello, Pat. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.